should be a fun game to watch besides the 2 stars as well as the 2 stars today.
Sarah Williams wins that tip-off for the Badgers. Avery LaBarbera now starting this game off. LaBarbera passes it back to Pospishilova to Schramek. Trying to find her someone. She finds Wilkie. Takes a jump shot.
Going to call an offensive foul that time, I believe. It's going to go on Sarah Williams down low.
And so here comes Caitlin Clark, the story of the day today. Clark, who's been absolutely unreal this season so far. That's Warnock. Passes back to Clark, driving towards the basket, and there's a layup made by Caitlin Clark. Folks, you're going to be seeing a lot more of that one. Passes it to Pospishilova, to Schramek, back to LaBarbera. Facing some coverage from Gabby Marshall. To Wilkie now. To Schramek at the top of the key. And Brooke Schramek gets that three-pointer. So Wisconsin now 3-2 lead. But coming right back, here's Iowa. Kate Martin driving towards the basket. Passes it back to Gabby Marshall. Back to Martin. To Sinano. Back to Warnock. And Warnock with that three-pointer.
How about the offensive showing we're getting early in this game between these two teams? They got Caitlin Clark involved early, then back-to-back three-pointers. Already a fun one here at the Kohl Center.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great one to watch if you like offensive firepower. LaBarbera passes it in to Williams, facing a lot of coverage from Sinano, and Sinano steals that one away, and here comes Caitlin Clark, making her way through the entire Badgers team, but she loses that one, and that's going to be a Wisconsin ball.
So right after the offensive firepower, we get a good hands play by Sinano down low for Iowa. Then coming across the other side of the floor, right back from Julie Pospishilova. Great defense as well.
And now here comes Gabby Marshall. Marshall finds Kate Martin. Martin tries to make that three-pointer, but it goes off the rim. LaBarbera passes it back to Wilkie. Wilkie trying to find some room, but she passes it in to Williams, and Williams with a short little jumper, and it's a good one. Now the score is tied, 5-all.
That Williams versus Sinano matchup today is going to be fun to watch. Two big bodies down low in the paint.
Caitlin Clark now facing some pressure from Wilkie and Pospishilova, but oh my goodness, look at Caitlin Clark. Outmaneuver two players on the Badgers faithful, getting that layup there. Pospishilova now.
Matt, what do you think of Caitlin Clark? You often think about her lights-out range, but she uses her feet well, has a lot of speed, and runs without the ball, too.
And it's just max. It seems like there's no flaws in her game here early on. Interesting pass there from Pospishilova to LaBarbera. Schramek now back to Williams. Fighting against Sinano. You're right. It's going to be a matchup to watch here, Sinano and Williams. And that pass, a little bit errant from Schramek to LaBarbera, goes off the hands of LaBarbera, and now it's going to be Iowa ball.
Yeah, Iowa off to a hot start so far here at the Kohl Center. A lot of different players getting involved. Look at the speed from Caitlin Clark, just bodying her defender, using two steps to get past him. Really skillful stuff there. She has the ball again right now.
Absolutely. Caitlin Clark passes it now to Martin, into Sinano, out to Marshall. And that three-point shot's no good, but just a great maneuver there from the Iowa offense. And there's Hilliard in, and a good play made there by Sydney Hilliard. Hilliard, a fan favorite who's been injured on and off here this year, but she's been great whenever she's been in. Sinano now finds Caitlin Clark. Clark trying to make something work against Schramek and Pospishilova, getting double teamed, but it leaves Gabby Marshall wide open, but that three-point shot is just short. Rebounded by LaBarbera, passes it up to Pospishilova, who takes a three-point shot of her own, and that one goes off the rim. Rebounded by Wilkie, shot is up. That one goes off the rim too, rebounded by Caitlin Clark. And here come the Hawkeyes. Clark with her first three-point shot of the game, and it is made. Absolutely drilled that one.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark, not what you want to see if you're a Badgers fan early. Getting the board herself, rushing it up the floor, and then pulling up just into a three-pointer very smoothly, as that time Badgers turnover right there. Take a look at this. So Caitlin Clark, as I mentioned, got her own board, just hustles up the court, scans everyone, notices she's outnumbered, so just decides, you know what, I'm good enough. I'll pull up from three anyway, and she drains it.
So now in for Iowa is Molly Davis. Caitlin Clark now challenging Hilliard. Passes it back. Great pass to Martin, and now a three-point shot, and it's made, and there's McKenna Warnock. Hilliard now for the Badgers. Passes it out to Pospisilova, facing a lot of press from here, but Pospisilova with the shot up. It's off the rim, rebounded by Sinano. Molly Davis passes it down to Warnock, who just had that three-pointer. And that layup is made. So McKenna Warnock having a great showing early on here for Iowa. 8 points on the day so far, 2 3-pointers, and that layup right there.
Yeah, that time that was a tough finish under the rim right there. You don't see a lot of players able to do that here in the Big Ten, so really impressive stuff from Warnock.
LaBarbera now passes it out to Schramek. Schramek faking out Sinano there, and it's going to be called a foul. Foul on Kate Martin for Iowa.
Brooke Schramek's been a little bit aggressive here. She already has a couple of turnovers today, but she likes to find those lanes. She's rolling it in there and just gets fouled on the way up. She's going to be shooting 2 right after this.
We're back here live at the Kohl Center. Iowa leading Wisconsin early on, 15-7. And let's talk a little bit about the high expectations, Max.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. These Hawkeyes had some big expectations coming into the season after winning the Big Ten tournament last season, caught a share of the regular season title. Came into the season ranked number 4 in the AP polls. They've dropped down a little bit over the last couple of weeks. Large part of that has to do with losses to number 3 UConn and number 12 NC State. This is a really important game for the Hawkeyes because it doesn't get much easier. They go back home to face number 8 Iowa State next week on Wednesday. So this game in Madison, all of a sudden, really vital for Iowa and the Hawkeyes.
Absolutely. Brooke Schramek makes both of those free throws there. So now she cuts that lead for the Hawkeyes to just 6.
Wisconsin pressing here.
Interesting call there from the Badgers, but it's pretty good. Slows down the offense of Iowa there. Warnock passes it back to Davis, to Clark now. Clark signaling around the offense. Sinano sits a pick, and here comes Clark with another three-pointer, and that one's no good. Rebounded by Williams to Hilliard, but Hilliard loses that ball. Great play there by Caitlin Clark. The steal and the recovery, passes it down to Sinano. Sinano with the over-shoulder jumper, but she doesn't get it. Rebounded by Hilliard to LaBarbera. Christina Elyu now. Passes it back to LaBarbera. To Hilliard. Passes it into Williams. And Williams is able to finish.
What a finish.
Great play there by Sarah Williams, who's been so crucial for the Badgers this year as a freshman.
Look at this. Sarah Williams down low, finishing with the left through contact. That is not an easy finish. Really impressive stuff from the big woman for the Badgers here, right after Caitlin Clark made a pretty good defensive play.
That Williams free throw is good. So Wisconsin on a bit of a run here, but here comes Caitlin Clark right back using that speed, and it just does not stop from Caitlin Clark. Automatic.
Matt, how quick is she? I went down to check my notes. All of a sudden, the ball was in the hoop. That was phenomenal.
I was checking the score on my laptop, and she was just down there. Christina Elyu facing a lot of coverage here. Passes it to Hilliard. Back to Elyu. Facing some coverage from a falter. Wilkie now. Jump shot. That one's made. Maddie Wilkie with a great shot there for the Badgers. Clark passes it back to Davis. Davis tries to pass it in, but it goes off the ankle of Pospisilova.
Wilkie averaging almost 14 points per game right now and showing why.
So Clark passes that one inbounds to a falter. Back to Clark, facing some coverage from Pospisilova. And a behind-the-back pass intended for Sinano, but recovered from Williams. And here comes LaBarbera, passes it down low to Pospisilova. And we're waiting on a call here, and it looks like it's going to be off of Iowa.
We'll see if Iowa wants to challenge this call. It's certainly going to be close. Pospisilova gets that ball stripped from her as she's going up. I think she wanted a foul call at first. She's not going to get that. But either way, Badgers retain possession here. Lisa Bluder, maybe not the happiest about it in the world.
Absolutely. Coming in for Iowa is Addison O'Grady, as Sinano gets some well-deserved rest. She's been great here tonight so far. LaBarbera passes that one into Pospisilova. Short little jumper. It goes off the rim. Rebounded by Pospisilova. Out to Schramek. To Wilkie. Wilkie with that jump shot. And it is made. Three-pointer from Maddie Wilkie. And so a great combination there for the Badgers. and it is tied up here at 17.
How about the effort from Pospisilova right there? Getting the inbound pass, misses her shot, but gets her own rebound, and then continues to control the ball movement on that side of the court. There's a foul here on this side.
They're going to call that a foul on Sarah Williams.
One more look at this. So the shot originally goes short, but Pospisilova, says, I got it. Continues to handle the court, be a director out there, and finds a way to get the ball in the bucket. Nice job there for Wisconsin.
Absolutely. Kate Martin set to pass this one in for Iowa. As on for the first time so far today for Iowa is Hannah Stolke, the freshman from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Kate Martin passes it into who else but Caitlin Clark, facing some press coverage from Maddie Wilkie. Passes it out to Stolke. Stolke trying to pass that one across to O'Grady, but it is taken away by the Badgers. Pospisilova bringing that one up to Wilkie, back to Pospisilova. Pospisilova, coverage from Stolke. Passes it down to Wilkie, what a play. And that layup is not made. And there's a fight for the ball there. Some great intensity from both Wilkie and Caitlin Clark as we take another look at this one.
Yeah, how about that pass down low? Maddie Wilkie just couldn't quite finish it, but then a good fight for the rebound. Possession arrow in Iowa's favor right there, so they're going to keep with this one.
Caitlin Clark now, once again bringing it up for Iowa. Passes it to Stolke.
So there's going to be a foul down low on Wilkie, I believe.
So Caitlin Clark's going to be passing this one in for Iowa. And there's Kate Martin trying to get around it. Goes into the backcourt here. Some coverage from LU. Passes it over to Marshall. Marshall trying to figure out what she's going to do. Passes it to Stolke. Back to Clark. Clark with a shot from the logo, and it is made. Caitlin Clark, it's unreal, Max.
It really is. 2 for 3 from behind the arc after that deep three-pointer from Caitlin Clark.
LaBarbera to Schramek. Schramek driving forward. That layup's no good. Rebounded by Caitlin Clark and showing that speed against Pospisilova. Clark passes it out to Martin, to Stolke down low, and Stolke finishes for Iowa.
How about that maturity from Caitlin Clark, too, that time? You could tell she wanted to pull up from 3, but saw the wide-open teammate, decided to make the pass and said, this is the development in Iowa that they're looking for in Caitlin Clark before she makes a trip to the WNBA.
Absolutely. LaBarbera passes it to Wilkie, back to Pospisilova. Pospisilova with the three-pointer, but it goes off the rim. Rebounded by Caitlin Clark, showing that speed right now. Outweaving LU, and Wilkie takes that three-point shot, but it goes off the rim. Rebounded by Stolke to Marshall, to Kate Martin, who's at the top of the key. That one goes off the rim. Rebounded by O'Grady, but it goes off of her leg.
Good effort that time from the Badgers in order to get the rebound and get the ball going their way. Look, Caitlin Clark's going to do her thing today. If you're Marissa Mosley and squad, you've already seen some double teams come their way. You just got to figure out an answer for that fast transition transition O that Caitlin Clark leads.
Absolutely. Hilliard with the ball now, facing some coverage from Warnock. Passes it to LaBarbera, but there's a bit of a fumble on that one. But it's taken away by Hilliard, and here's a shot up by Schramek, just short. Rebounded by Hilliard. Shot is up, and it's going to be an and one. Sydney Hilliard with a massive pop from the Wisconsin crowd is going to get an and one here.
How about this from Sydney Hilliard? So the shot misses, but Hilliard's right there for the rebound. Faces a body or two. And finally gets the and one opportunity. Only a 16% free throw shooter, though, is Hilliard, so this should be interesting. Matt, we're also noticing early here at the Kohl Center, there are a lot of Iowa Hawkeye fans in this crowd today. So Iowa using that momentum early they're getting from some of their fans traveling well, trying to take a lead early.
Absolutely. It seems to almost be a 50-50 split here at the Kohl Center. Iowa Hawkeyes fans travel well. As here's Warnock going to pass this one in, but there's going to be some press coverage here playing up by the Badgers. Pass it in to Caitlin Clark, back to Warnock, back to Clark. Clark being pressed by LU, by Hilliard. Just being double teamed here, but that leaves Warnock open to shoot that three-pointer, and that one banks in perfectly. So a three-pointer there by McKenna Warnock. Hilliard now. Passes it out to Copeland, out to LU. And that's no good. And so at the end of the first here, Iowa just barely leading Wisconsin 25-20 as we take another look at this one.
Look at that shot right there from McKenna Warnock. Currently 7th in the Big Ten in three-point percentage and showing it off right there.
And at the end of the first, 25-20 Hawkeyes. We will be back with the second.